we found out that we have better breeding results and a longer lifespan. But the most important fact is it makes your fish more happy.
Okay, so on the aqua lighting project you're working on, how did you do it?
We used RGB LEDs. These can simulate different colors during day or night. We also linked it with weather web services. This simulates seasons and simulates light levels due to clouds. Here are just some impressions, like evening and midday.
Okay.
Here's a graphic about the lighting throughout the whole day.
Well, that's basically the user interface T developed for the fish tank lighting. Come on. Okay.
And this is a little color wheel to just manually make colors for your aquarium.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Okay, the second project I want to share with you is the project from Max. And some of you read in the proposal for this talk that we're also going to talk about the Lego Mindstorm Moonbots challenge.
Yeah.
Well, Felix, Max, tell us a little bit about it.
Well.
Okay, first of all, hello. Hello, Max.
Well, hi. The Moonbots is an international competition where it's about the Lego EV3 and the moon and the rover on there and all of that. We did enter it, but unfortunately we did not make it to phase 2. We did that, we wanted to do that in Visual Age, but we already started interfacing it with Smalltalk, and we ported Yannick Laval's code from Fratch to Visual Age.
Where's Yannick? Is he here?
Hi
Yannick. Thank you very much. Pretty good code. Was awesome.
And then we created parts for VASERControl. And now Lego EV3 functionality can be triggered by anything in your home, such as, for example, flicking a light switch. So instead of the moon challenge, we thought of a new challenge, which was to make a Zen garden robot. So this is how it looks. We have, for example, a trigger such as pressing a light switch. Then it could turn on the light, start the music, and start the robot.
Okay, and the light and music are implemented in completely different systems. Like the lighting goes over KNX, music is UPnP, and then the robot.
And this is how it looks in VASERControl.
Okay. So we got a little video.
Yeah.
Well, tell about it. Shall we start it?
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get the sound here as well. I think my audio is not working. Actually, you should hear now Japanese music in the background. I just have to imagine the Japanese music now. That's Okay, thank you very much. It was our presentation about VASERControl, some really nice advanced aquarium lighting, and the Zen robot. Yes, please.
What do you think about implementing some data mining around it to predict people behavior? For example, you can turn smart home in some fitness mode when you block refrigerator until people complete some treadmill. What do you think about it?
It's a very, very, very good idea. Actually, we have, like for fitness areas, we can, provide light scenes and everything, but it's actually a good idea to make interfaces for everything. And, well, one of the key features is, getting it all together. Yes, good idea. Yes?
So you mentioned remote debugging and remote maintenance of the system. So how concerned are your customers about security and people hacking into that? And what are you doing about it?
Yes, security issues, a very big point, because one of the things is we also get access to the security cameras, because in the system, usually the customer requires when they are in the house and you're in your bedroom, you hear something funny in the garden, instead of sticking your head out of the window, you first look at the camera, what's going on. So we have all of those functionality integrated. However, what we do is remote access is always via VPN, so it's encoded what you do from external. For us, when we do remote debugging, the thing that we do is we have a small Raspberry Pi at the customer side, and if the customer wants us to remote debug or remote access the system, he has a switch on the Raspberry Pi, he turns it on, and then I get my VPN connection to the house. So this is something even housekeeping or the gardener can do, say, even if the customer is not in the house at that time, tell the gardener or the neighbor, please flip on the thing, we can look what's going on. Once we're done, they just turn it off and that's it.
Felix, I'm curious. The wavelengths of red, green, and blue LEDs are tuned to the cones in the human eye. Do you know how fish eyes might differ in their color perception?
Not really, but it's more of the light is actually outside, so we see it outside. Maybe the fish sees it slightly different, but it's still the same light, or at least same.
Thomas, how far are you away from needing to scale yourself as a remote administrator and programmer of the system, and what are you going to do about scaling the expertise? I mean, you're growing too, I can see, but you might grow exponentially.
Well, okay, scalability, you mean by the size of the building, or?
No, we can have enough customers
Oh.
for the rate of programming.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that would be nice, Okay, the thing is, we actually have like three layers. There's us, of course, we're doing the Smalltalk programming, we are building up the engine, we're building up the tools. Then we have we have some major companies that are already reselling our product, and they have integrators that are using themselves. They don't use Smalltalk. They work on the editor you saw before, doing on the graphical interface and connecting all the features together. We're offering courses for integrators on that. So for the 50 projects, or more than 50 projects I mentioned before, about 15 other projects that we did ourselves. The other 35 were integrators. They don't do Smalltalk, but they are in the home automation business and home installation business and using it for their projects.
Can I ask, how much is the hardware for, if you wanted some of this stuff in your house so that maybe we could try playing around with some of this stuff, is it really expensive? Or presumably there's lots of different ways of doing it.
There's a ton of different ways to do it, and it depends on what you want to do. Usually if you start off with a new house and you start to build a house, it's very easy because you can use, for example, the most stable switches and the things that look the prettiest, in my opinion, they use cabled connections. So if you have the chance to still put in cables, put in a new installation, the better. However, there are some things that work over power line protocols, so it uses the 50 or 60 hertz from the network, modulates the signal on top of that, or there is even radio control stuff. It always depends. If you have an existing house, sort of like the entry drug that people are getting into it is the garden illumination. That you can sit on your porch and, you just change the colors in the garden, turn on a little bit music in the garden, change the swimming pool, get some basic information about the weather, and then gradually one room after the other gets migrated. This is the typical thing that happens with our customers in that sense. If it's a new building, you usually start off with scratch. One of the ballpoint figures is your electrical installation gets about 50% more expensive because you use the smart controls. However, things like your climate installation and heating installation gets a little bit, cheaper because you don't need those specific controls for your for the air conditioning or the heating system because it's all integrated more on the electronical part. And then usually the playing starts, let's see, why don't we put up some speakers in the kitchen as well? Why don't we, an RGB lighting around our furniture is going to look good. And then this is the point where, you get a lot of added functionality, added things in your house that you haven't thought of before.
No, thank you.
There's, at least in Germany, I think there are many popular wireless protocols like from Conrad, ELV, or the Homematic system.
Yeah.
So do you have interfaces to that, or is this do you think this is not interesting for you because it's not as professional or like
No. We have an interface to the Conrad. What was it? The FS20. To the FS20 we have an interface. However, there wasn't quite that big of a demand on it because, the price tag on Conrad is already very low. And, the consulting fees of a Smalltalk programmer, if you say, okay, listen, we need about 2 or 3 days of consulting and building up something like that. Usually if you just have an FS20 with controlling 3 lights in your house, it usually doesn't scale up quite that well.
So it's the phasor control is not it's not possible to buy it like they are automated for private houses. For the FS20 there are different applications which you can just buy as software and you customize and program yourself, but this is not the type.
I'm not saying that we are not doing FS20, but if you talk to customers that have FS20 systems. And they're used to that, like the remote access costs like 20 or 30 euros, and it's a little bit the price scales don't really match in that case.
Okay, but when you work, you also have a version which you can buy for private homes where everything has to be done by the.
Oh, sure, you can do that. We have a demo version where you have like 20 controls in it. And you can use the FS20 if it's sufficient for you with 20. However, you still need some training. We recommend we offer classes on phasor control, and it's not like you take it out of the box and it's going to work. So you have to think a little bit about how you're going to do it.
Okay, thanks.
We just have 2 quick questions, one for Max and one for Felix. Max, I would like to know what inspired you to do the Zen garden with your robot.
I don't know, it's just an idea.
Thank you. Felix, I have a question. You said that this lighting, the aquarium lighting, makes the fish happier, and I would like to know if you've noticed that it has increased their lifespan.
Yes, it actually has. Because sometimes you just buy fish at a fish store, and the next day you find them dead.
Yes, I've had that experience.
So we have,
Thank you.
Okay, very well. Any more questions? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you all.